Hey everybody, ronarray here, and as 0.3 progresses, a lot of people are currently thinking what to farm. And one of the most stable farms in the previous league being Trial of Chaos farming. However, in 0.3, GG changed a lot about Trial of Chaos. So is it still profitable? Can you make enough currency just running Trial of Chaos? Or maybe you should just run it occasionally? So in this video, I want to cover Trial of Chaos farming and showcase how exactly you can make money with it, what you should expect, and showcase should you farm it in the end or no. Let's go! So in 0.3, after the changes, inscribed ultimatums are working a little differently. Right now on every ultimatum you can see a dedicated word. So cowardly, victorious and deadly. It's showcasing what kind of part of the mask to fight the boss is going to drop in that ultimatum. So cowardly fate is going to drop in cowardly, victorious fate is going to drop in victorious, and deadly fate is going to drop in deadly. That way, prices for masks are much more stable right now, and you can still run random ultimatums. Some of them will cost a little more, some of them will cost a little less. To buy ultimatums, you can also use an instant buyout from the website because it's much easier to buy it that way. Currently, one ultimatum costs only one exalted, so it's very cheap, if not absolutely free, running most of your ultimatums. That way, if you're going to farm ultimatums and Trial of Chaos in general, you're not going to pay anything for entrances. But the big question is how much currency you will make after all the changes. So that time around, GG decided to add a lot of additional soul cores. So on top of basic soul cores, we also have a set of additional soul cores. They're literally adding more options to your pool. And it's harder right now to drop some particular good cores, even if their price is still staying stable. So every ultimatum which costs like one exalted will take you approximately like 14-15 minutes currently to complete. Make sure that you're constantly utilizing sprint everywhere and you're sprinting all across between the zones. And you can also use a blink gem, because blink gem could help you to get off the platforms and on the platforms as well. So if your build has space for it, I heavily recommend to use blink just as an option for additional travel and to speed up your ultimatum runs. So most of the time, in 1 hour, you should be able to complete approximately 4 ultimatums. It could be 4.5 in some particular cases if you're like very fast with a very high movement speed. But going faster than that is probably not possible because you will still need to spend time clearing the trials. So let's discuss what you can make. And first question is what we should do with the mask. You're going to receive one mask at the end of every ultimatum that you're completing. And right now the prices for masks are honestly not that bad, so you can check it out. Most of the masks will cost like 15, 13 and 15 again. So approximately 15-14 exalted per each, which is a pretty nice at the moment, especially since divine price right now is only 89 exalted, which is very good too. So you will be able to get 1 out of like 25% of the divine just from the mask itself, which is guaranteed and pretty nice. I currently don't really recommend to farm the boss, because boss drop chances are very random, and instead of a stable farm, you're going to receive a very bad farm in general. So instead of fighting the boss, I heavily recommend just to sell all the masks. That way, you will be able to get 4 masks while you're running your ultimatums. And after you get 4 masks in an hour, you will be able to just sell all of them and receive approximately 60 exalteds. That's close to like 70% of divine an hour, which is pretty nice just from the guaranteed masks, especially considering that ultimatums are free and the run itself is very easy even for a pretty big build. But let's talk about another part of our profit. It's pretty much soul cores and runes. So for soul cores and runes, there's not a lot of expensive ones at the moment. Our main soul core that we are currently focusing to get is pretty much Takati, because it's going to give you 29 exalted approximately. As you can see, it costs 29 exalted at the moment, so it's pretty important. And on top of it, you can also have very good old Atskapa, which is giving quality and like spirit. So Atskapa costs 60 exalted, which is very, very nice right now, and that's like 70% of the divine again. So there's also a few other expensive soul cores that you can currently get. So for example, G20 should cost a pretty decent amount of 40 exalted, which is very, very nice as well. That's all for the old ones, and you're going to receive a lot of other basic soul cores. So as you can see, you're dropping so many of them, like. And if you will take 3 soul cores like that, you can go to Reforging bench, put them in, and just reforge, receiving a random core. There's a pretty decent chance that you can get like another bad one again, but keep reforging your bad ones until you'll get one of the expensive ones that I already mentioned. Now, let's talk about new soul cores that we received. There's a lot of them, and unfortunately most of them are pretty useless. So the main new soul core that you should focus on is Assault. It currently costs only 18 exalted, but it's better than nothing. There's also Retreat, which is not too horrible as well. So Retreat could be like 16 exalted approximately. And the rest of just basic soul cores is not really leading to anything important at all and could be completely ignored. Ignored means when you're looting them, you're just reforging until you get something better. So during one normal run of Ultimatum, you're going to receive about 3 soul cores every time. So in 1 hour, you should be able to receive about 12 soul cores overall. And there's a pretty chance that you're going to hit some small jackpots here and there. However, you're always going to make some currency, because even if you will take any random soul core that you like, for example like Zamoto, it still costs about 2.5 or 3 exalteds. That way, the absolute minimum that you're going to receive if you're going to sell them instead of reforging them is 36 exalteds from your soul cores. Together with Mask, you're going to make the worst case scenario with 1 divine from soul core and Mask guaranteed in 1 hour, which is definitely not a big number, but there's like a few additional things to it. First off, you're still killing monsters, so when you're killing monsters you have a pretty decent chance to drop divines or chaoses or exalteds or any other type of currency while you're doing Trial of Chaos. And additional thing, on top of just providing soul cores and masks, the trial itself is dropping a very decent amount of chaoses. So one run can usually lead up to 3 chaoses approximately, which is feeling very, very nice. And in an hour you should be able to receive like 20-30 chaos orbs depending on how lucky you will be. At worst, you're usually ending up with like 10 or 15. Since Divine currently is 53 Chaos Orbs to 1 Divine, I think it's still a very nice addition. So with the current system, there's also another interesting moment that I want to mention. I believe that better soul cores such as Takati for example, or Atskapa, or even G20, they're pretty much only going up. So if you don't really want to sell them right now, you can always wait a little, and I believe that in a few days the prices will go significantly up for those, because there will be more and more people utilizing them in the builds. So with all those changes, I believe you can still make something between 1 and 2 divines approximately just running Ultimatum per hour. I think if you will be lucky, you can jump closer to like 3 divines, but 1 divine is almost guaranteed every time if you're just selling everything that you're picking. And it could be a pretty nice and stable farm for people who just want to off their brain and focus on running it as fast as you can. I honestly believe faster builds could also feel a little better in such conditions, but that's pretty questionable at the moment because just trials itself are taking a pretty significant amount of time. So giving the final estimate, I don't think that you can make more than 3 divines per hour running that if you will not be extremely unlucky. And most of the time I would expect 1.5 divines approximately. But if your build currently can't handle other much harder types of farm, or you want a stable and easy approach to get at least some money, it could be a nice option to run Trial of Chaos. I also believe that maybe it's going to be better later on when prices will go up and economy will change. However, at the moment it's mostly stable but not really amazing farm, which should be used for builds that can't run other types of it or don't want to risk it at all. I believe that maybe Trial of Chaos will be changed or reworked in the future, because right now I believe it's not too profitable and that could be definitely improved. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you like to farm Trial of Chaos or maybe even Trial of Sechemes that league, and how good it went for you. See you next time, and ronarray out.